Your house is on the market and a realtor just called to let you know that the buyers are on the way for a showing. What do? Maybe you have that pre-showing panic starting to set in. Not to worry, I've got you. This video is your 12-step checklist to go through your home and get it ready, especially if you're showing your house on short notice. Hi, my name is Sheila. As a decluttering expert, a home stager, and as someone who has moved 10 times in 10 years, I can tell you that there are some things that the buyers are not going to be able to overlook when you are showing your house. So this video is just to hit those high points and get that house ready, especially if you have very little notice that the buyers are on the way. Be sure to stick around to the end for a bonus tip and for a list that you can screenshot and keep on your phone so that you're always ready to show your home at a moment's notice. The first thing that you want to do is empty your kitchen sink. I cannot overstate this. They say that the kitchen is the heart of the home and the sink is the heart of the kitchen. So you want that kitchen sink to shine. You need to have it completely empty of your own stuff. So any sponges or dishes, any of that stuff, even if you have to throw it in a plastic bag and put it in your car, you just want to get it out of there as quickly as possible. Wipe out the sink and make it shine. That is your first step every time when you're getting ready to show your house. And staying in the kitchen, the second step that you want to do to get your house ready to show is to clear off your counters and your appliances. This video assumes that you have already done a lot of the decluttering that you needed to do to get your house on the market in the first place. But as we know, that clutter tends to creep in over time. So do you have a pile of mail or a stack of papers, or is there some stuff that maybe needs to be thrown away that is just there on the counter in your kitchen? Now's the time to clear off those countertops and wipe off any crumbs and just make sure that the counters look really nice and clean. If it feels like your kitchen is too empty or too bare, then chances are you've done a really good job staging your house. A lot of times when I help people stage, they say, oh, the house doesn't feel like mine anymore. And that's almost really the point, is that you want buyers to be able to walk in and not think about you, but to think about themselves and envision themselves in your home. So if there's anything on your counter that you're maybe questioning, should I leave this out or not? That's usually a pretty good indication that you should put it away. After wiping down the kitchen counters, you want to make sure to wipe off the front of any appliances, especially if you have stainless steel appliances, because you want those to really sparkle and shine. I recommend just using a microfiber cloth like this Norwex cloth. This is not sponsored. I don't work for Norwex, but I really do like these microfiber cloths as a way to clean off the front of appliances, especially stainless steel, because it just removes the fingerprints just with one swipe. It's nice and fast and easy, and time is of the essence here. So the third thing that you want to do to get your house ready to show is to make every bed in the house. Be sure to go through and check all the bedrooms. Even if it's a bedroom that doesn't get used that often, you want to make sure that the blankets are on the bed straight, the pillows are fluffed. Is there anything on the bed that doesn't belong? Anything that you meant to put away and just accidentally left it on the bed? Now's the time to clear all that stuff out. Even though you're not selling your beds with the house, the beds are really an important part of making the house feel ready to move in. I know it sounds weird because they're not buying your beds, but you want them to be able to walk in and feel like, oh, this place is so relaxing and calming. And part of that is having the beds nicely, freshly made. The fourth thing that you want to do before a showing is to take out all the trash. Empty every trash container in the house. Even if you're not sure if there's anything in it, now's the time to check. You want them all to be completely empty. And if you have liners in there, you want to replace the liner and make sure that it is fresh as well. You don't want people seeing your garbage. You don't want people smelling your garbage. They are here to look at your house, so they don't want to be distracted by the sight or the smell of trash that you may have left in the can. Item number 5 on our checklist is to flush every toilet and close the toilet lid. Even if the toilet doesn't get used that often, maybe it's in a guest bathroom and it hardly ever gets used, still you want to flush the toilet because sometimes that water can get dirty over time. If you have a few extra minutes and you want to spray some cleaner in there and give it a once over with a toilet brush, great. But at the very least, we're talking bare minimum here. Flush every toilet in the house and make sure the lids are closed. I recommend having a set of staging towels, some nice white fluffy towels that are for the bathroom that you hang up right before a showing. So take down your everyday towels, hang up a nice fresh fluffy white towel, and that will also go a long way in making that bathroom feel fresh and polished. And speaking of freshening up the bathrooms, item number 6 on our list is to wipe all of the bathroom mirrors. Again, grab a microfiber cloth or whatever it is that you like to use to clean the bathroom mirrors. You want to give them a nice good once over, wipe that mirror, get all of the water splashes and the toothpaste splatters off of the mirror, and then when you're done with that, just wipe the bathroom counter, wipe out the sink, wipe off the faucet. This is not about deep cleaning. This is just giving your house a nice quick once over to make it look and feel as fresh as possible before the buyer walks through the door. Item number 7 is to remove all pet items. I've talked about this in previous videos, but I cannot overstate how important this is. Not everyone is a pet person. Some people don't like pets, some people have allergies, maybe someone's a dog person and you're a cat person, or vice versa. It's always the best idea to make sure that you get all the pet stuff out of sight. So that includes dog beds, feeding dishes, litter boxes, leashes, all of that stuff, as well as the pets themselves. You want to remove them from the house because it is just a distraction for buyers, and you don't want buyers to be focused on what's in your house, your own stuff. You want them to be focused on themselves and how they might envision themselves in the space. Item number 8 on our checklist is to clean the floors, especially vacuum the carpets. Now, I'm not talking about detailed vacuuming here. You don't have to move furniture. You don't have to clean into the little corners with the special tool or anything like that. It's just a quick vacuuming to make those carpets look nice and fresh and plush. And if you have hard floors, then you could grab your stick vacuum or your Swiffer or a broom or whatever it is that you use to clean those, but you just want to give it a nice once over, make the floors look fresh. You don't have to be really meticulous about it, but you just want to make it look like they've been freshly cleaned. Item number 9 on the list is to open all the blinds and all the curtains in the whole house. Every blind, every curtain in the house should be open as far as it will go because you want to make the windows look as big as possible. You want to let in as much light as possible. Regardless of how new or how old your home is and how new or how old your windows are, natural light is something that never goes out of style. Item number 10 on the checklist is to turn on every light and every lamp in the whole house. Even if you're showing your house in the middle of the day, still turn on every lamp and every light. Hopefully every light bulb is brand new and fresh. If you've watched my other videos, you know the importance of changing the bulbs before you put the house on the market. We want to make sure that all the lights are on because you want the house to feel as bright and open and well lit as possible. If you have a ceiling fan, I recommend leaving it on the lowest setting. You want to accent the fact that you have a ceiling fan by having it turned on a little bit, but if you have it on full blast, it can feel like a wind tunnel in there, and that can be distracting. And on the other hand, if you have it completely standing still, people might not notice that you have a fan, or they might look up and see dust on your fan. Hopefully you've cleaned it, but it is always shocking to me how quickly those fans accumulate dust. So having it on the lowest setting will just help to make it look like, hey, there's a fan in this room, this is a nice feature, and it will keep people from staring at the fan or feeling blown away by too much air coming through the fan. If you've gotten any value out of this video so far, it would mean the world to me if you would hit that subscribe button so that I can reach more people and help more people. Thank you so much. Let's keep going. Number 11 on our checklist is to put away personal items. So this could include stacks of mail or bills, jackets hanging on the hooks in the entryway or the mudroom, piles of shoes. Even if you have the shoes nice and neat and lined up, you still want to get them out of there. Put them under a bed, put them in a closet, put them in a suitcase, whatever you have to do to get them out of the way, because again, you want the buyers to walk in and envision themselves in this space and not to think about or focus on you and your stuff. So other personal belongings that you want to remove are things like toothbrushes and other hygiene items. You want to get those completely out of sight, out of mind. You can put them in the bathroom cabinet instead of on the counter, or put them in a drawer or a linen closet, whatever you have to do to get them out of the way. You don't want people to walk in and know what kind of toothpaste you use and what kind of shampoo you use. You just want to get all that stuff out of there, because the less stuff that's in your bathroom, the bigger it's going to feel, the cleaner it's going to feel, and the more that people will be able to envision themselves in your space without focusing on the particular brands and things that you use. I'm going to give you a bonus tip plus a screenshot at the end, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But item number 12 on the list is to adjust the thermostat according to the temperature. If it's really cold outside, you want your home to feel warm. It doesn't have to be roasting, but you don't want it to be freezing cold in there either. If it's hot outside, you want the house to feel nice and cool. So you just want to adjust the thermostat so that when buyers walk in, it feels better on the inside of your house than it does on the outside. Okay, now it's time for a couple of bonus tips. The first one is to eliminate odors in your home. I've spoken about this in a previous video, and every time I say this, people say, oh, well, my house doesn't stink. I didn't say that it stinks, but I did say that everyone's house has a certain odor or a smell to it. Have you ever borrowed something from someone and you smelled it and you thought, oh, this smells like their house? Well, your house has a smell too. You just don't smell it because you're in it all the time. time. It could be based on the products that you use or the foods that you typically eat, but everyone's house has a certain smell to it. And so to eliminate that smell, the worst thing you can do is to use a plug-in or a really harshly scented candle, or to try to spray it with a room spray. That's just going to mask it, and it's going to add extra chemicals into the air. It actually can make everything smell so much worse. So instead of trying to mask the odor, you want to neutralize the odor. And that's why I recommend this. This is not sponsored, but this is Azuna. It's just a brand that I really like. It's this glass jar with holes in the top, and you add this solution to it, and this uses tea tree oil to kill the bacteria and neutralize and eliminate the odors in your home. Now, when you first open it though, when you first pour this into here, it does smell really strongly of tea tree oil for about the first day or so. So I recommend, if you can, to go ahead and use one of these before the house goes on the market. That way it's doing its thing in the background, it's eliminating and neutralizing the odors, and so you don't have to worry about it at the last minute. But it's going to go a long way to make your home just smell nice and neutral and fresh. And then my other bonus tip for you is that if you do have extra time, you can go throughout the house and fluff up pillows and straighten up throw blankets. You can sweep off the front doormat, make sure that there are no cobwebs around the front door. But even if you only do the 12 things on the basic list that we covered, you are in really good shape. You're far ahead of a lot of sellers just by having done these things. You're setting the stage for the buyer to walk in and feel like this home is calm and clean and has been well cared for. And that's exactly the message that you want to send. For more decluttering inspiration, be sure to check out my free 1-minute decluttering guide at the link in the description below, or stay tuned for this video right here. I'll meet you there.